Aaron Sinclair, Danvers, Massachusetts, 1931. Dr. Manning has requested I keep a diary. Well, demanded, really. He says it will help me cope with any feelings I'm having about Ben's accident and return home. I don't really understand why this is such a big deal to him. It was almost like an ultimatum, it seemed. Keep a diary and report it to him, or else. So here it goes. Now that Ben is finally home, things are better. Even if not perfect. I missed him so much. It's been months. He's changed a bit, but I'm sure he will get back to his old self. I'm writing these during the day to have my privacy. Ben sleeps all day. He's still recovering. I'm supposed to record my feelings specifically, so I'm feeling relieved and a little scared, I guess. I never expected he would make it back to me. I know it's going to be a long road to normality. I think that's enough for today. Hello again. Ben being home is a little exhausting, so I'm feeling exhausted but happy. I'd mop a million muddy footprints to have him here. He sleepwalks at night, so I guess he's just restless since he always sleeps during the day. It worries me, though, with his leg and the shape that it is in. I hear him dragging it a little when he walks. It's very unnerving. I'll tell Dr. Manning I'd like him to start physical therapy once he starts having more wakeful hours. I leave food out for him at night, and I hear him eating it so fast and with such vigor it's no wonder he throws it all up. I've been meaning to confess something, but I'm not ready to yet. I'll tell you more tomorrow. I think I hear Ben. Day 3 of this diary. I'm liking this more. It makes me feel less alone. I shouldn't say that because I have Ben, of course. I'm ready to confess something, though. I can't sleep very well. I know he's just wakeful at night, but when he crawls back in bed at night, I can't help but wake, and I'm always scared to turn over and see him. I made that mistake the first night. He just faces me and stares. He just stares, with his mouth open. Since he's still refusing to talk since the accident, it's just creepy. I'd never tell him that. I shouldn't talk about him like this. I'm gonna go for the day. Oh, I'm feeling uneasy. Day 4. I spoke with Dr. Manning today. He was surprised to hear my entries about being scared. He asked me why I don't just stop seeing Ben. He's my husband. That's such a stupid thing to say, as if I have a choice or if I'd ever want to. I was so mad I forgot to ask him about physical therapy for Ben. For the stupid record, I'm feeling angry and more alone. Ben still doesn't talk. I can't keep his wounds clean. Whatever he does at night when he goes sleepwalking must rip them open anew. As he sleeps during the day, I clean them as best I can. I haven't gotten him to shower since he only seems to be awake when I am asleep. I can't wake him during the day. Another thing to add to the list that scares me. Day 5. I called Dr. Manning today. I'd had some time to cool down. I think honestly I also just wanted to hear another person's voice. I asked him about the physical therapy, and he asked me how I knew about Ben's leg injury. He seemed scared. I don't understand. I think he's gone a little mad, to be honest. How could I not know? I just wanted another person who understands to talk to you, but instead he just scared me more. I feel like a child hiding under my covers in the dark. This situation must be wearing on me. Things just don't feel right. Dr. Manning came by my house. It was so late I was surprised but relieved, as I didn't want him upsetting Ben, who had seemingly disappeared by this time. He demanded that I get into his car, and I fought back. He threatened to have me committed. He drove us to the graveyard. He demanded that I humor him, and he seemed so sure, more sure than I have felt in days. I followed him. This was the graveyard where me and Ben had bought plots for ourselves, having no family of our own. My mind flashed back to Ben's funeral. I shook the thought from my head because he had come home, and that's what really mattered now. We went to his grave, and as I knew it would be, it was unearthed. Because he was alive. They had just made a mistake. Dr. Manning, being surprised for some reason, turned to me in horror, his back to the grave. I shushed him and I tried to comfort him. After all, I, too, had felt horror and surprise at first. He accused me of having dug up the grave, but I pointed out how it would have been impossible for me to spring Ben from the earth. I am quite a small woman. At the revelation of this logic, his eyes got larger, and his jaw dropped open, making me unwantingly remember Ben's face in a similar configuration. I saw a muddy hand emerge from the hole in the earth, and I screamed. Before Dr. Manning could figure out why, his left leg was in its grip. He was on the ground, and I dove forward and I grabbed his hand, but I was no help. He was easily dragged into the grave. Still on my knees from the attempted assist, I started to cry. I was too scared to get up and move. I realized outside of the sound of my own wails, I was hearing wet crunching and Dr. Manning's occasional drowned protest and spluttering. Everything went silent. I thought I'd lost hearing, but I realized I'd really just lost my voice. I was no longer making any noise, and no noise was emanated from the earth, not from the hole or the woods beyond the graves. But then I heard Ben's voice. For the first time in so many months, I heard Ben's voice. He told me to go home. I drove Dr. Manning's car home. Ben speaks. He breathes. He eats. He laughs. It's all I wished for. All I pleaded for. So many sleepless nights whispering into the dark for some higher power to just let me have him back. I've learned that wishing should be done more carefully. When Ben speaks, it is words I wish I'd never heard. Words that unbidden echo in my mind at a debilitating volume. When he breathes, it's a rattling noise that's a reminder of his state. It's cold upon my neck at night. When he eats, it's something I cannot watch, as it is any living creature he has brought home in the night, eaten with joy and malice. When he laughs, mouth gaping as laughter emits almost artificially, it's as he's hurting me. Not physically, but mentally. I think he means to drive me insane, to suicide. I don't expect to endure the torment much longer.